Well, good morning. This is Dave, your Mid-Tex gardener. I'm out here at the garden site here in the country where I'm trying to reclaim some pasture area for a garden. Well, I did some spraying a few days ago and the grass is dying off. But really today, with the COVID-19 situation ongoing and a lot of talk about N95 respirators and cloth masks and stuff like that, I thought I would take a little bit of time to talk about those things. I've been working with general industry safety for over 30 years. I also have a certification from the OSHA Training Institute at the University of Texas in Arlington for a certified safety and health official, and I am also a authorized OSHA 10 and 30 hour trainer. I hear a lot about the N95 masks, respirators and all, and there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of understanding in the general population about what those can and cannot do for you. First of all, you hear a lot about cloth masks. You see a lot of people making cloth masks. Those, for the most part, are not going to protect you as would an N95 mask. They will protect other people from exposure to whatever you might have more than they'll protect you from exposure with other people might have. They do provide some protection, but it's not the same as what you would get wearing an N95 respirator. On N95 respirators, those are that fit your face. They're usually have two straps on them, and they're designed to exclude particles up to about 95% of the particles that are respirable. They filter those out of the air that you're breathing in. Those require that you have a good fit to your face, and regardless of whether you're wearing a cloth mask, an N95 mask, or a reusable cartridge respirator, you need to have no facial hair if at all possible. Any kind of facial hair is going to reduce the effectiveness of it, and if you more than about a day's worth of beard growth can actually make ineffective an N95 respirator. Recently I saw someone in a grocery store who thought he was probably well protected wearing a cloth mask with a full beard. That probably provided him little or no protection, and it provided very little or no protection to other people around him also. So I want to show you just a little bit here on how to use a respirator. I've got a reusable cartridge type that I'm going to use for this, but the principles are the same. If you are working for someone, you're employed, and your employer requires that you wear a respirator like an N95 mask or a reusable cartridge respirator, they need to provide you with a questionnaire and evaluation by a licensed healthcare professional that is qualified to determine whether or not you could be allowed to wear a respirator. The respirator, especially like the one I'm going to show you, can put a significant strain on your heart and lungs. So sometimes doctors will require, and some employers will just routinely require, what's called a PFT, which is a pulmonary function test, to make sure that you can actually wear that safely without endangering your health, because it does put a strain on your pulmonary system. So I'm going to get my mask, my respirator here, and we'll go over some of the fundamentals on that. Okay, for purposes of doing this donning and doffing, which is OSHA's terms for putting on and taking off, respectively, a respirator. I'm going to take the hat off because it needs to be able to put this on correctly. This is a reusable cartridge respirator. This is a cartridge here. This pink part right here, inside of it has an N95 pre-filter, so that filters out particles and keeps them from getting into the cartridge. These cartridges are really expensive, and you want to keep them from getting clogged up with particles. Basically, you want them to filter out, in this case, organic vapors that may come from like painting operations, stuff like that. When you are putting these on, they have a surface here that matches to your face, that comes up against your face. It's soft and pliable, even on the N95, the paper type filtering respirators. They have an edge on them that is supposed to form a seal around your face. The paper ones even have a clip, a metal clip on the top of them, a soft clip that you mash down kind of around your nose to cause a seal to develop over the bridge of your nose there. Generally, this type and the N95 filtering face piece, you can wear glasses, safety glasses or other glasses with those. If you're using a full face respirator, you'll have to use other type of eye. If you're using prescription stuff, eye or prescription inserts in your mask face shield. So to put these on, my way of doing this is I'll put the top part on, go over the top of my head with it.
Okay, now it may be a little more difficult for you to hear me. Hopefully you can still understand what I'm saying. Now, I've put this on. I've had it adjusted before because I've been using it previously. But whenever you put on a respirator, whether it's one of these type or it's just the filtering face piece, you are still required to do what's called a seal check. In this case, a seal check means putting your hands over the openings where the air flows into the inside of this, inward into this filter. So you put your hands over it and then try to breathe in. And when you breathe in, it should not let air through. It should cause the mask to suck down tight up against your face. If it's not doing that, you hear or feel air coming through and you think it's coming from this area, put on rubber gloves, and those rubber gloves will help you cover that opening so that you can get a good test on this. In this case, this one has been fitting me well, and it still does fit. It needs to be comfortable because you're normally going to wear these for a good long while, so you may have to kind of wiggle them in place. Once you start building up a little layer of sweat around the interface area between your face and the mask, you get a much better seal also. Part of the seal check is also to check if it has an exhalation valve on it, is to check that valve to make sure that it's functioning correctly. Mine exits right down here, so I put my hand under there and breathe out. When I breathe out, the mask tries to pull away from my face, which is what it should do, because it's got a seal. Putting air into it causes it to want to move out. So these this provides protection for me for things coming in. It protects me from organic vapors and also from particles of dust and stuff like that. It is not a 100% protection for people around me, because when I exhale, the exhalation comes through that valve and it is not sealed or filtered. So whatever I exhale is going to travel through the valve and then out through the exit. It does provide some protection for people around me in that the valve slows down the momentum of the particles coming from my breath, and then on this particular one it directs them down so that they're coming back towards me. So hopefully this helps. I'm going to take this off.
Hopefully this has helped to understand, for you to understand the safe use of respirators, N95s or even the cloth masks. Just be aware that the cloth mask is not really going to give you a whole lot of protection. It will protect people around you from, if you have something that it may be contagious. You may be asymptomatic, and wearing something like that would, even though you may have it and not know it, that would keep other people from being exposed somewhat to the COVID-19 virus. From out here in Central Texas on a nice sunny, warm spring day, this is Dave, your Mid-Tex gardener. Stay safe, hunker down, and let's get through all of this together. There are better days coming. Thank you.